So I want to quickly show a very simple corner construction using angle iron. Okay, so a lot of times the angles and corners, we think, oh, I got to do miters, which are going to be complex 45-degree cuts in each corner, which means you have a really good saw, and if you have to do it by hand, your chances of cutting all of them perfectly are pretty low, and it's a lot of work. If you don't need to do that, there are easier ways to do this whole thing. So this kind of corner construction right here only requires me to make really 2 cuts, okay? That's it. Once you lay these together, you can see what I need to cut out. I cut this piece out and the edge of the leg over here. These parts fit right together, just like that. And then they can be welded up. And it gives me a nice square finished corner. And then once it's welded and use very careful grinding and sanding, you have a perfect, beautiful corner with nothing even showing. Now, I'm only grinding this piece with a bevel right here because this has enough metal that the heat can be absorbed and nothing bad's gonna happen. This piece I'm not beveling because there's so little metal here. If I bevel this, it's gonna melt and pour right over the side and give me a rounded, very sloppy looking corner, and that's just not good. So this is just a single bevel. So when you line this thing up, you square it up and you do 1, 2, 3 tacks. This is not going to go anywhere and be very rigid. So this is a very simple way if you got to fabricate a table or a frame very rapidly. They can be done out. I've done this stuff outside using nothing but an angle grinder and my welder, building some large tables on site very, very quickly without having to resort to complex, degrees and angles and everything else. So it's a very nice construction and kind of what I'm looking for, that this should be done very, very well. The next one over here this is just a 12 by 12 square frame. And I wanted to show you this because there's a very particular way this is done, and this is the way that it should be done to give you the least amount of problems and to make things as easy as it can be. So the frame, okay, these long members here are 12 inches long. These are 10. So when you add the 1 inch here, 1 inch here, I get 12 inches all the way around. Now, I check for squareness by going corner to corner. Here I got a hair under 17. I go over here. I've got 16 and 15/16. So a little under, so almost perfect square. If I need to get perfect square, how do I do that? So if you notice the way this is put together, my tacks are all on the inside. You see that? This is where you want to do this. So whether this is angle iron or square tube or what have you, I'm tacking on the inside. This allows something to happen, which is that it'll allow these tacks to scissor a little bit on each inside. So basically like a giant parallelogram. So if I need to adjust it, all I need to do is very carefully hold it in place and tap my corner. This will push it inwards, pushing these corners out. So what you do is you just keep measuring corner to corner, tapping opposite corners until you get an exactly the same measurement across. Then you'll tack here, okay? These 2 tacks will fix it. You turn it over, do the other 2 sides, and to weld it out, you weld up the interior opposites first, then the outsides. Then you can do the faces. Never do the faces first or this whole thing was gonna bow on you. Insides, insides, outside, outsides, then your faces, always balancing your welds. So that's 2 methods for building some quick frames. Now, this method can be used for structural members because you are welding, some pretty heavy welds all the way around. This method is a non-structural method. So this is used for furniture, shelving, you're building a cart, a table, some such thing. So Now, this is also done with thin material. So this is very thin angle iron. I'm not going to be doing this with giant structural members. I'll use a completely different mode of construction there. But for more utilitarian things, this is a fast, easy way to do stuff. So I hope this is a short video on that, and we'll be putting this into practice in the next coming few days.